This is Mrs. Robertson, and today we're going to do our back page of the Bellwork. This is for the 13th and the 14th. Today is April 14th, and we're going to go over how to do the problems on this. These are all things that you should know how to do in 6th grade. I've taught all of these standards to you, so this is just a review. If you don't remember them, ask questions. Just make sure you are really thinking about what is this asking me to do, and then at the end say, yes, I do know how to do these things. All right, because I know you do. If you're not thinking, though, it will not happen. You've got to make sure you're applying yourself. Number 1, what type of an angle is smaller than an obtuse angle, but larger than an acute angle? It's a very specific angle, yes. A 90-degree angle, that is it. Now, the 90-degree angle has a special name. What's the special name for a 90-degree angle?
Right angle.
Right angle. Okay. Make sure you have right angle. And I want you to draw another picture. You know it's a right angle because it has a little box in it. Whenever an angle has a little box in it, that means it's a right angle. Any questions? Prime factorization. That means you only use prime numbers to get that number. Now, the smallest prime number is what? A prime number has exactly 2 factors. Is 1 a prime number? No, because how many factors does 1 have? Just 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So the smallest prime number is 2. So up here, kids, somewhere on your paper, let's make a list of prime numbers. 2, 3, 5. The only way you can get a 2 is 1 times 2. The only way you get a 3 is 1 times 3. The only way you get a 5 is 1 times 5. What's the next one? 7. Now, is 9 prime? No. What times what's 9? 3. So it can't be a 9. 11. Yep, the only way you can get 11 is 1 times 11. 13. Is 15 prime? No. 17 prime? Yep. Is 19 prime? Yep. 21 prime? No, 3 times 7. And let's stop at 23. Those are called prime numbers. Okay? Prime numbers have exactly 2 factors. 1 in the number itself. 2 is the only even number that could be prime. Okay? There are no other prime numbers. Now, prime factorization for 200. Well, I'm going to do it the box way here. There are a couple ways you can do the tree method or the box method. Let's see. Over here, I'm going to do the box method. I'm going to put 200 here, and I only can divide it by prime numbers. 2 divides 200 how many times? 100 times, right? Okay. 2 is a prime number. How many 2's are in 100? 50. 2 is a prime number. How many 2's are in a 50? 25. Now, 2 won't go into 25. What's a prime number from this list that divides 25? 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So kids, our prime factorization will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Do you see how I did it that way? Now, it wants us to use exponents. Now, I have to rewrite it using exponents. Who can tell me how to rewrite this using exponents? It's 2 to what power? How many 2's did we use? 2 to the 3rd power times 5 to the right. And kids, that will give you 200. So the answer using exponents is this. And 2 to the 3rd power, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25. 8 times 25 is 200, kids. Everyone know how to do that now? Is it hard? No. Can you remember what we just did? Yes. All right. Now let's go to number 3. Quinn, what do I have to do before I can subtract fractions? Right. We got to change this to these. They have to be the same. Well, 6 is the biggest denominator. Will 3 divide 6? Yeah, it'll divide 6 2 times. So 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So now I'm going to rewrite it here. 5 and 4 6 minus 3 and 5 6. Carter, I have a problem here. What is the problem? Do you see it? I'm subtracting. I'll make it a little bit larger. What's the problem? Can a 4 subtract a 5, Carter? No, it's too little. It needs help. Help, help. And 5 says, I will help you. 5 is going to turn into 4 and 6, 6. Why 6, 6? Because the denominator is 6. So 6, 6 combines forces with 4, 6, making it the mighty what? 10, 6. Now can it subtract? Yes. 10, 6 minus 5, 6 is 5, 6. And it's not a 5 now, it's 4. What's 4 minus 3? 1. Kids, is that hard? No. Just think of the superhero story and you can do this. Yeah, question.
Don't you just multiply it by the same number though?
I did 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 gave me the 4. Okay, good question. Now, this is dividing in number 4. What do I have to do to mix numbers before I can divide? There are a couple things we have to do. What's the first thing? We have to change them to improper fractions, and that is called multiply, add, and put it on top. So let's do that. Start with the denominator. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 5 is 35, 6. Does everyone get that? Divided by 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now we still have to do something else. What's the next thing I do after I've turned them into improper fractions? Yes? Keep, change, flip. We're going to keep the first fraction. It's going to be 35 over 6. Change it to multiplication and flip the 3 sevenths. So we will have 35 6 times 3 over 7. Now kids, at this point you could do 35 times 3 and 6 times 7, but Mrs. Robertson likes to keep things simple, and I want to simplify before I multiply. I don't like multiplying by big numbers. So what am I going to do? Yes. Right, 3 divides 3 once, and 3 divides 6 2 times. There is another shortcut. Quinn? And 35. 7 divides 7 once, and 7 divides 35 5 times. Now it's pretty easy. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, that answer might not be there if it's a multiple choice. What's another name for 5 halves? How could I rewrite that? Grace? 2.5. Excellent. Because you say, how many 2's live in a 5? 2 of them. That gives you a 4, and there's 1 left over. Nice job, Grace. Any questions on these? Do you feel like you're smarter on how to do these problems now? You're getting it, aren't you? Great. Now, this one, it wants a decimal answer. I have to change 1/8 to a decimal. Well, to change a fraction to a decimal, you divide. 1 divided by 8. How many 8's are in a 10? 1. Subtract. Add a 0, bring down. How many 8's are in a 22? That's 16. Subtract. Add another 0. How many 8's are in a 45? So it's 125 thousandths, okay? 0.125. That is what the decimal is for 1/8. Plus 5.25. Well, let's line our points up. $5.25 or 5 25/100 plus 125 thousandths. Put a 0 in the empty spot. We are adding. 5 and 375 thousandths. Any questions? All right, kids, when you're doing these on iLearn, don't try to do this stuff in your head. Make sure you write down on that scrap paper. Some of you won't be taking it in my room. You take it in another room. Make sure you use your scrap paper. I am going to watch you kids. Now, I can't look at what you write down and stuff, but I do want to see that your scrap paper is used. If you doodle a little bit at the end when you're finished, that's okay, but I want to see that you used your paper wisely. Number 6, arrange them in order from little to big. Okay, right away, what number's the littlest number there? Yes. What's our littlest number? Delaney. -3, that's right. -3 is the smallest. Now, you know that 3/4 is, what's the decimal for 3/4? 0.75. Now, 0.75 is bigger than 0.3, isn't it? Yep. So it's -3, 3/10, and 3/4. Can you kids all organize negative numbers on a number line? Fractions and decimals? All right. The coordinates of the vertices of a triangle are given. What is the area of the triangle? Kids, if I were you, I would draw my little thing here. And we've got to go up to 4. So this is my, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put a little 4 there. And I have to go, don't have a -4, right, to 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I have to go what, to -1? Yeah, it looks like -1. Here's -1, and here's -1. Okay, now, -1 is right there. 3, 1, 2, 3, -1 is there. And 3, 4 is way up here. Let me make them little red dots. Now, that's a triangle. Now it says find the area. Kids, sound effects. The formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So my base is 1, 2, 3, 4. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to do 4 times 5 divided by 2. 4 times 5 is 20, divided by 2 is 10 units squared. Do you see how I did that? All right, in a moment I'm going to walk around to see that you've been doing this, because this is all I've asked, that you do these with me. That's all you have to do. If you show every step, you are training your brain. Even though you don't know it, you are training your brain how to do math logically. All you have to do is copy this stuff down, and your brain starts to remember things. Just like with fractions. You didn't remember it very well the first 9 weeks, but now you've done it. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't even realize I'm smart now. I know how to do these. Now, to undo multiplying, what do? Divide. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. And D will equal 480 divided by 12. It goes into it 4 times. Is the answer 4? No, it's 40. D equals 40. 12 times 40 is 480. Any questions? Getting smart, aren't you? Yes. Now we have a bag of marbles. A bag contains 6 black, 4 blue, and 8 marbles. Okay, how many marbles are in that bag, kids? 18 marbles. So the total equals 18 marbles. What is the probability that a marble drawn from the bag will be white? How many white marbles are there? 8 out of how many marbles? 18. Now, type that in, but if it says they want it simplified or if it's a multiple choice, that choice isn't there. What is 8/18 simplified? Yes. 4/9. Yeah. 2 divides 8 and 2 divides 18. 4/9. Any questions? I really don't know what the iLearn test looks like, so if they have you type something in, you know, or if it's multiple choice. So if you think you did your problem right and you don't see your answer, go back and say, hey, can I simplify this? And then maybe it's there for in the multiple choice. All right, PEMDAS, number 10. In problem number 10, we have 2 to the third power plus 3 to the second power minus 2 times 4. So parentheses, there are no parentheses. Exponents, yeah, we've got this one and this one. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is what? 8. What's 3 times 3? Minus, now I'm going to do multiplying. You do multiplying and dividing after you've done your exponents. 2 times 4 is 8, okay? Now, 8 plus 9 is 17. And 17 minus 8 is 9. Did you get 9 for your answer in problem 10? Good. All right. Now, you have to change 3.5 to a decimal. Devin, what's 3.5 as a decimal? Three and a half. What is it as a decimal? You're not going to write $3.50 like 3 and a fraction 1/2. What's the money for 3.5? Aiden, what's the money? How do you write it as a decimal? 3.5. You know that, Devin. So 3.5. Now your percent. Remember, 1 equals 100%. So it's going to be, what's your percent for 3.5? Yes. 350%. 350%. All you do is move your decimal point 2 places to the right. But if you forget it, just think, hey, I know 1 is 100%, so 3 is going to be 300%, so 3.5, 350%. Just think of all the things your brain now knows how to do. It's amazing. So let's just do this one to a percent. What's 2.4 as a percent? Devin, what's 2.4 as a percent? Excellent. Yes, you do know that. 240%. Kids, on iLearn, the difference sometimes between passing and not passing is 1 question. Don't miss the easy ones. Now, we have to write it as a fraction. Well, you can write 2 and 4/10, but 4/10 can, you all know how to do that, right? But what will 4/10 simplify to? 2 and 2/5. 2 and 2/5. Any questions? Okay, 70%, let's go to a fraction. Percent means per what? 100. So just put 70 over 100. But that simplifies. 10 divides them both, right? What's 70 divided by 10? 7. What's 100 divided by 10? So you get 7/10. And the decimal is 7/10. Isn't that easy? Very nice. Okay, as you look at these first 13 problems, how many of you can show off what you really know now when you do that test in 2 weeks, because we don't do the math next week but the following week? I am proud of you. Look at this. You do know this. We're going to practice it some more to build confidence. All you need is confidence. Okay, volume of this prism. Volume is length times width times height. So the volume of this is 4 times 3 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 3 is 36 centimeters cubed. Any questions? Now we are going to draw the lovely net. Remember when we did these? Yes. And kids, it's a 6th grade standard, so you're going to see something about a net somewhere on your test. It's not hard. One year they had, you might have to just practice drawing, I don't know. But let's practice drawing a net. I'm going to do my top first. Top is 3 by 4. So this is the top. This is 3. This is 4. Now, Mrs. Robertson's not going to draw all the X's in there because I'm drawing. The little boxes, I should say. Now, that's the top. Now I'm going to draw this side. It is also 4 by 3, right? So this is the top, front. Now I need my bottom. The bottom is going to be the same, 4 by 3. And the back is also 4 by 3, right? Now I have to do my right and my left side. Got it? Now I'm going to put it here, and it's going to be what by what? 3 by 3. Good job. 3 by 3. That 3 matches this one. Does everyone have a net drawn? Yes. Caden, do you have a net drawn? Let's get it done. Think about it. Top, front, bottom, back, right, and left side. Okay? Now, what is your surface area? Well, 4 times 3 is 12. This one's 12. This one's 12. This one's 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, the surface area, I add those all together. It will be 4 12s is 48 plus 2 9s. So here I have 48 plus 18, and that will give me 66. Did everybody get 66 centimeters squared? All right. Any questions? Great. You don't have to do number 15. It says the circumference of a circle is this. We're not even going to spend time doing that. That's something as a 7th grade standard. Number 16. What is the girl-boy ratio in a class of 30 pupils if there are 12 boys? So here, we first have to figure out if there are 12 boys, how many girls are there? Is there 30 girls? 18. So if there are 12 boys, you have 18 girls. Now, does it want the answer of how many girls? No, they want a ratio. So the ratio, what is the ratio of girls to boys? So I have to have girls to boys. So it's going to be 18 over 12. But that might not be a choice because that will simplify. What's another name for 18 12ths if that's not a choice? Yeah. Let's see. 3 divides both of them, doesn't it? 3 goes into 18 6 times. Oh, you know what? 6 goes into both of them. 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 18 goes into 12 2 times. So it might end up of 3 girls to 2 boys. How did we get 3 to 2? You simplified. 8 12 simplifies to that. Okay? Now, solve the proportion. Well, 18 doesn't go into 60. Oh, I could simplify this and make it 4 6, right? Divide it by 10. 6 times what is 18? 6 times 3 is 18. So what's 4 times 3? 12. The answer is 12. Now, let's say you're not good at this. All you do, kids, is you cross multiply and divide. 18 times 40 divided by 60 will also give you the answer. It's called cross multiplying. Yeah, if you can't do it this way, just do 18 times 4, or 40 because it was 40, divided by 60. How long is that line segment? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and how many of them altogether? 14, 15 sixteenths. It's 14 sixteenths. But that answer's not there in a multiple choice. That means it can simplify. 2 divides 14 7 times, 2 divides 16 8. It's 7/8 of an inch. Okay? What is the area of the hexagon? Now this is not a regular hexagon. It's irregular because all the sides are not the same. We have two mystery sides. This side here and this side. How long is this side on our mystery? This is 6, so this plus 1 has to be 6. How long is that going to be? 5. Carrington, we're going to do this mystery side. Here, this is 8, this is 2. 2 plus what is 8? 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus what number is 8? 6. Okay, now add your sides to find, I'm doing number 20, the perimeter. I'm doing 20 right now is what I'm actually doing. Then we'll go back and do the area. The perimeter will be 8 plus 6 plus 2 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1. All 6 sides. 8 plus 6 is 14 plus 7 plus 7. You get 28 inches for the perimeter. Now, for the area, which is what number 19 asks, I'm just going to cut it up into 2 rectangles. The area of this one is 8 times 1, which is 8 inches. And the area of this one is 5 times 2, which is 10 inches. 8 inches plus 10 inches, 18 inches squared. Are there any questions? All right. Nice job, kids.